So boom, I had another version of this video that was very spicy that I was going to do, but it was 20 minutes and I know you guys don't be on that. So what we get into today, 5 things that determine a producer's value, 5 of the most important things from my perspective and what I think. So let's get into it. So one of the first things that determines the value of a producer is your psychology. You could say your belief in yourself, trust in the heart of the cards, Yu-Gi-Oh! I call it the Yu-Gi-Oh! Factor, your confidence, all that stuff. So let me ask you a question or a series of questions, and I want you to pause and think about these after I finish asking. So, how much do you charge for beats now? How much would you charge the guy down the street for a beat? Is there a different price online for beats that you charge? Do you charge a bunch of different prices on your website? Think about all the ways that you charge for a beat now. Let's say some major industry artist wants to get a beat or a label wants to get a beat. How much are you going to charge them? Now, why are there differences in the prices and stuff like that? And the last question I'm going to ask, in these situations, do you think you should be charging more or do you think you should be charging less? Now, I'm not going to go super deep on this, but this is the thing. You are your business. You set the prices. Nobody else is above you that's going to tell you, this is what your price should be. And even then, somebody could tell you your price needs to be real low, or you could try and match the market, but you might be worth more. That's just what it is. A lot of people undersell themselves, and a lot of people are extremely delusional, and they oversell themselves as far as overpricing the beats or underpricing the beats. So you have to look at those two things: overpricing or underpricing, having delusion or having a lack of self-confidence. Both of those can lead to two things: either being underpaid or not getting paid at all. But ultimately, this piece of the puzzle is up to you. And I'm not going to get deep on how to price your stuff, but it comes down to what you think. So the second factor is the beats. I'm going to try not to drag this one. Every single rapper or artist needs a beat. It is essential for the music. It is a necessity. The second thing is the beat has to be a beat that the artist actually likes and that people actually like. So you have those two things. Those are the two main factors that, at one point gave the value. But we're at a different point because now there's a lack of exclusivity when it comes to the beats. And there's not much you can do about that as an individual, because exclusivity was a piece of what gave the beats value and what gave producers value and stuff like that. But we're in a time where a rapper can go on YouTube, they can go to the studio while they rolling up a blunt, they can give the aux to the engineer, tell them to record everything through the phone while they rolling up the blunt and kill all the tags. This happens. I have engineer friends who tell me this happens. It's been happening for years. And they could do this for free. They could steal the beats that they like, that they need for the music for free. I have to tell this story really quick and give this example. So J. Cole did a song on a type beat, gave it to the artist, and guess what? The day that the artist premiered it on his YouTube, because J. Cole let him do that, some artist who stole the beat and never bought it had a copyright tag on his video that he was getting money for J. Cole. So the other person was slowing up the money, and he didn't even buy the beat. So we're living in crazy times. So with all of that being said, beats are kind of a commodity now. Now, this is one place where the value is always going to come from, and that's if you have a unique product that is maybe hard to duplicate, but just a unique sound that is yours and that is in demand that people want. If you can separate yourself with a unique sound that is in demand, that will give your beats a value that other people's beats just won't have. As far as when they go on YouTube and find a J. Cole type beat or a Detroit type beat or whatever. So you can separate yourself from the pack by being unique, creating a sound and pushing that sound and getting that sound to be in a great place where you can have demand for yourself. So that's number 2. Now, the third thing that determines your value is skill. Now, when I say this, it matters in 2 directions. Are you valuable to producers or are you valuable to rappers? One or the other. when you look at the producer end as far as skills, if you can do things like play live instruments, or you make really great melodies, or you make really great drums, anything of that nature, you can be valuable from a standpoint to where people want to make samples with you, or they want samples from you, or, you know, they got something that they call the drum guys. They sing you the samples so you can do the drums or whatever, you know. So you got that whole aspect to where you can be valuable to producers. And there are different things like, you know, the live instruments and stuff that take the value to different levels, because everybody can't do that. But on the other end, as far as the rapper end, if somebody can tell you, I need a beat that's sad, crunchy, whatever description they give you, if you can connect with that and make a beat that fits what they need and they like it, that's another skill. Everybody can't do that. If you can be sat in the studio and they say, bro, just start cooking, and you could cook up something that they like, everybody can't do that. And even on a production tip, if you are capable of giving feedback, honest feedback, sometimes it needs to be blunt, sometimes you need to sugarcoat it, whatever. If you're capable of getting that to the artist in a way that's digestible, that they will actually go with it, that's a skill. So basically, when it comes down to it, you're either providing value or you're a person of value to producers and or rappers. So boom, the fourth piece is relationships. Let's get into this. We're going to go straight into an example. Let's pretend that you have a pipeline to NBA YoungBoy's manager. You have a relationship with an industry artist manager. They constantly need beats, and they need beats that connect with what NBA YoungBoy says he wants. You're able to provide that. With that, you're also able to give placements. So there's a two-way street as far as that value. In most of these relationships that we're going to talk about, there should be a two-way street of value. You give value, you give value, those types of things. So with that, you want to nurture that relationship and even give value outside of beats whenever you can. Now, you being in that position, that makes you valuable to other producers as well. So if they are aware that you have that pipeline and that you have a bunch of placements with NBA YoungBoy, they'll be more inclined to sing you samples, beats, you know, things of that nature. They'll be willing to collab, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of people will reach out to you. You'll be more in demand. With that, that can make your workload easier. So that's where they provide value at. And also, if you want to, because you're providing an opportunity, you can charge them for a paid collab. A lot of people do this. Now, even outside of that, let's go to, you can actually work with other people whose music you like and stuff like that as far as their production. But let's go a step further. Let's say there's another guy and he has a pipeline to Kevin Gates, and he's getting placements with Kevin Gates and Lil Boosie or two other industry artists that you're not connected to. You two connect and say, let's work. You guys begin to team up and make beats, and you guys begin to shop them to the artists that you're connected to. Now, it's very good for both of you. It's very beneficial. So you have placement opportunities that you're providing him. He has placement opportunities that he's providing you. And it doesn't even have to be that crazy. If you just like working with an individual and then the individual gets signed or something like that, you have that relationship, and now you have an opportunity, or the other way around. You're able to provide your homie with an opportunity. So that's what it really comes down to. And this could go a bunch of different ways, and there's probably more nuance to it, but that's what I'm giving you today, bro. So this last one is by far the most important, and I was going to go crazy. I may do a whole video on this another day, but let's get straight to it. It's status. You could call it cloud. You could say your name is your name hold weight, however you want to say it, but the word is status. So the reason that Kanye beats cost significantly more than your beats is because Kanye is Kanye. Let's talk about status very quickly, and we're going to go over some definitions first. So status is the relative social, professional, or other standing of someone or something. And another definition is position or rank in relation to others. So in the book, My Personal MBA that I read, they have a chapter called Status Seeking, or a module. And it basically says that humans innately seek status in everything. And when there's an opportunity for a human to increase status, they usually seize that opportunity. So now when you look at that, let's go back to Kanye and why his shit costs more than yours. We're going to look at the tangibles. Status symbols would be, oh, he's not platinum one time, he's like 40 times platinum or some shit. He sold a bunch of records. He has had a major deal for a long time as an artist. He worked with Jay-Z. He's worked with all these other high status artists. I can keep going. He's had Billboard #1s, etc., etc. All these things are accolades, even in some cases awards or achievements that are looked at as status symbols, in some cases to producers, but in some cases to society in general. And just the one cherry on top is that he has a lot of fucking money. He's a fucking billionaire. So the reason people would be more inclined to buy a Kanye beat is not because the beat is so much more amazing. You can say that, whatever, but it's just the status that comes with it. They feel like there will be more notoriety to it. They feel like it'll be an automatic hit. It's an opportunity to boost their status. That's why they will go and get it. Now, this is the thing about that. It doesn't actually have to boost their status. That's just what it is. There's a lot of delusion when it comes to this. I've seen artists get really geeked about speaking to a popular internet producer, having them say that their music is fire and, getting beats off of them, etc., etc. And nobody outside of their block know who they are. And they got all the beats. They got all the beats from the, producer that's very popular and all that stuff. And we could even get outside of just that. Just think about this. So you got rappers who have bought features from artists. In some cases, they don't get the artist in the video. So now they've paid $30K for this feature, $20K or whatever, but it doesn't get them the results that they wanted because everybody didn't see the status symbol, which is the artist that they're working with. Sometimes they get them in the video and it still don't do numbers because at the end of the day, they don't know how to promote it and they don't get the artist to actually tweet the song. So in those cases, they pay top dollar, tens of thousands for the feature, and they don't get the status boost that they hope to get for that absorbent amount of money. But guess what? The artist still got paid. And just to top it off, if you look at something like Balenciaga shoes or even Jordans at one point before the designer wave, those are considered status symbols. If you put those on your feet, how much does it change your life? Look, I try to keep it PG on this channel, but listen, man, if you wasn't getting babes before the Jordan, you're not getting babes after the Jordans. You're not getting babes after the Balenciaga. It's not happening. So but again, those shoes sell like crazy. So with all of that being said, if you get accolades, if you get a high level of, status symbols and things of that nature within this game and a lot of money, people are going to be willing to spend more money to work with you. That's just what it is. That's just how it works. Even if irrationally, it doesn't really tangibly benefit them. That's what it is. They will ride your cock to the moon. So with that, I've covered a lot of ground with these 5. I'm sure I left something out, but I think I covered the most potent things. Don't say something like creativity in the comment because I already covered that. That's under skills and also having unique beats and things like that. But let me know what you think. Let me know what you think should have been on the list. Let me know what you think about the list. Let me know what you want to see next. I'm going to be doing more talking videos. I got to talk to y'all a little bit later in one of my next beat videos and stuff like that. But I'm out.